Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. What a night we have this Wednesday night for you. Broadcasting live out on the iRacing Live portal and here on YouTube is the premiere of the Championship Racing Association's League, the Modified Madness Tour. You're going to have two classes of modifieds on the track tonight. The Tour Modifieds pushing over 600 horsepower in their V8. Up against what they call the Lights, aka the SK Modifieds. Only about 450 horse coming out of the engines of these cars, and it's going to be a great race tonight, folks. Got about 150 laps coming at you. We are going to go now to the playing of the national anthem. When we come back, we'll talk about what we got upcoming, so you don't want to go anywhere. We'll see you in a minute. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcast Network this Wednesday night. Hello out there to the iRacing Live people if you're tuning in as well, as we have a new series kicking off tonight. It's the Modified Madness Tour brought to you by the Championship Racing Association League. Joined in the booth with me now is Kyle Barnes, one of the league administrators, talking a little bit about what we got in store for the folks tonight. A little bit of Tour Modified and SK, or what you guys are calling the Light Modifieds. Two types of class of cars, one track. Kyle, what can we expect?
excitement, just pure excitement. These guys put on one heck of a show, but we definitely wanted to do something different here with the CRA Modified Madness Tour. You got both the Tour Modifieds and the Modified Lights going head-to-head up against their own class of drivers. So we'll come home with 2 winners after tonight in every race this season. But we're trying to go after, or trying to emulate after, the Southern Modified Race Tour, which was formerly known as the Coma and Wind Modified Series. Great group of guys down here in the southeast region, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and we're just trying to simulate what they had going on, and we hope that we can put on exciting races just like they did.
And with the Tour Modifieds having the more horsepower than the SK or the Light Modifieds, that's going to be pretty challenging for them to get through the field.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly right. You're definitely going to see some 3-wide, maybe even 4-wide passes as these Tour Mod guys come up on the Modified Lights. We definitely had some exciting racing in our test race on Sunday night, just trying to get everything together and let these guys see what's going to happen. But with these Tour Mods so much stronger on straightaways, you're going to see a lot of dive bombing and a lot of side-by-side, like I said. And I would not be surprised if you see some guys use these Modified Lights as a pick in the Tour Modified division.
Is there any key notable drivers that we can look out for? What you would call an early all-star in the debut of this series tonight?
I would definitely say Christian Peterson. He's not definitely run with us a bunch, but in the time he has run with us, he's definitely shown that he's going to be a contender. Also, you got Brandon Simmons. He's always strong. Zach Knowles, Kevin Hash. Just a great group of guys here. And, of course, Donnie Moore. He's had a lot of success in the Modified Light over at the Bootleg Racing. So we're excited to see all these guys go head-to-head.
All right, Kyle, appreciate your time. Look forward to a great season ahead. Kicking it off here tonight, USA International Speedway. We may come back around to you after the race is over, get some post-race thoughts from you, but good luck and have a great race tonight.
All right, we'll see you after a while.
There you got it, folks. Kyle Barnes, the race administrator tonight, and what we got going on, you heard it from him. Tour Modifieds, SK Modifieds, 2 classes of cars on one track. And tonight, let's take a look at the race information while drivers are finishing up qualifying. Your track, USA International Speedway here in Lakeland, Florida. It's about a 3/4 of a mile track, a little bit of length off, 0.6 to 3/4. We'll call it a 3/4 mile track. 88 degrees in the air, 37% humidity, partly cloudy, and take a look at that temperature down there on the track. 114 degrees to kick off the festivities here tonight. Things will get slick. They're going to heat up really quick when these guys start rubbering up this track, and only one can imagine what it's going to be like in about 10 to 15 laps. But we do have a total of 150 laps on the docket for you tonight, and it's going to be great. As he mentioned, Christian Peterson, the driver that you see up there at the top right now, the number 23 car, running that Tour Modified, is setting a fast time tonight as we show you the qualifying results here. Christian Peterson up front. Take a look at the speed, 106.29 out of that car with a qualifying time, 20.63. That has him currently sitting on the pole. And as we take a look at the sponsors on that car, Christian Peterson, one of the guys, I believe he may be running a non-sponsored car. As we look through our list here, be able to get that for you. Christian Peterson has that 6-Man Inc. and the Peterson Irrigation sponsors on that car. Alex Hallinar, another Tour Modified guy back there. He is going to be running that 64 Tour Modified, and Hallinar is running unsponsored tonight. Seth DeMerchant, if you've caught any of the other Digital Forge broadcast races, you know this guy can tear it up in a Gen 6 car. Heck of a super speedway driver. Seen him all through multiple leagues, and tonight he's going to try out short tracks and see how they work for him running a Tour Modified here tonight. And DeMerchant running that PS Designs car, that number 35, currently in third position, just 0.15 off the fast time tonight. So if you're joining us out there in the YouTube chat, if you have a driver out there that you've watched before that you know that you want to give a shout out to, go ahead and type it out there for you. We'll get that over the air to let them know they got a fan base watching. And again, folks, if you're catching us on the iRacing Live portal, appreciate you tuning in there. We are always live on YouTube about 5 to 6 nights a week broadcasting. Have a lot of great things coming up, especially Friday night, the Interleague Championship Series. That racing action, 3 different leagues, battling it out through 5 different tracks and 3 different vehicles. So a lot of great things We're going to be having a Formula Renault coming up next month on Thursdays. Precision Racing League will be in action there. And Monday nights, we got something in the works for Monday nights. Tuesday nights, the Anarchy Motorsports Series and their Wounded Warrior Cup Series project, or Wounded Warrior Cup Project Series, if I can get it right. They're in action there. So, lot to catch up. If you haven't done so, make sure you hit the subscribe in the YouTube so you'll stay in the know as to when we go live. You can find us on the web at forgebroadcasting.com and on Facebook. And if you haven't heard already, my name is Dustin Caldwell, and I appreciate you tuning in here this evening. Qualifying time has come to a conclusion. Drivers are going to begin to make their way out to the grid, and it looks like we got a total, possibly about 25 cars participating in the race. The opener here tonight. This is the Modified Madness Tour Championship Racing Association League. And as the drivers slowly make their way out of the pits onto the grid, we'll show you where your drivers are sitting here tonight. And I can tell you what, the Tour Modified cars are definitely dominating the first 11 positions on this grid. And rightfully so. Rightfully so, they should be dominating, pushing over 600 horse out there. And they begin filling out the grid. We're going to go down as soon as our pole sitter gets there. And it looks like they have finally made their way out. Everybody but our pole sitter. He has now made his way out. Let's go down to the grid, folks. Starting on the grid here tonight, that number 23 car of Christian Peterson. New England driver starts on the pole, had the fast lap time tonight. To his outside, you got that number 64 car. That is Alex Hallinar. He'll be starting to the outside of that first row, looking back to the inside row. Looks like it's going to be the 25, or excuse me, the 35 of Demerchant, another New England driver. You can see a lot of these guys and their modified routes. The number 48 to the outside of him, Clint Crowell, the Mid-South driver, changing it up a bit, will start in fourth. As we look back, a couple other positions, Zach, the Holy Man Mecca, the New York driver, back there in 10th. 17, to his inside. That is Adam Rego. I'm going to go call him Rego tonight. Get a clarification on that. This is up there in 9th position, so a little bouncing around on the field. But that's pretty much what we got for you on the grid. Thank you to our software. Modified Madness Tour in action tonight, folks. Christian Peterson on the pole. And they're going to begin pulling away. Cameras tonight, the custom cameras we got, we're bringing to you, are brought to you by Eckstein Cameras. Ryan Eckstein doing an excellent job of putting together some camera packages for us. Pace car taking them into turn number 1, 3/4 mile track. And they begin pulling away. And I got a pronunciation out there, thank you, in YouTube. Rigo is his name. So Adam Rigo in the 17 car, starting 9th. And Crowell, all right. You got me a guy out there, a translator out there, appreciate that. As they finish their first pace lap, they got one more, and we will be set to go green for 150 laps of modified race action this Wednesday night. Here we go. Pace car taking them out of 2 into the backstretch. And the pace cars now into the pits. Here we go. Peterson with the pace coming out of turn number 4.
Green, green, green.
Green flag in the air. We are underway here at USA International Speedway. And it looks like we have some connection issues, possibly from Hallinar, and a lot of drivers falling back through the list really quick. And it looked like, as we go back through here, we can see Philip Temples may have had some issues. So we're going to look at Robbie Bunden. Let's go back and take a look at replay here on that car and see if we can capture exactly what happened. And it looks like it was the 87 of Bunden that may have gotten loose. We'll have to dial it back just a little bit from here. One more time to capture that 87 and seeing exactly what got him loose coming out of the turn number 4 into the front stretch. Keep your eye on that yellow modified in the middle of your screen. Out of turn number 2, you can see a little bit of connection issues from a couple of the drivers. The driver just blinking all over the place. So it looks like some contact there. So Bunden is going to make some contact with the 42 of Mecca. Zach Mecca in that Tour Modified number 42 will have some contact early on to bring out tonight's first caution. So as the pace car leads them around, your top 5 as it stands: Peterson, Crowell, Strakota, Hallinar, and Boy, they're really challenging me with these names tonight. Hameka. Get that one. I got that guy out there, Thunderdog, out there in YouTube, giving me a good pronunciation on these. Race statistics so far: 4 laps completed out of the 150, 0 lead changes, and 1 total caution. Again, this is the Modified Madness Tour Championship Racing Association this Wednesday night. And I believe we are going to go to a double restart, possibly. Double file restart, maybe. Here, as the pace car still has some at least another lap to go before the lights come off. Given as many drivers as we had, total of 25 fielding the grid tonight. Give a big shout out to Zach Knowles there, one of the race administrators as well. Peterson with the pace car coming out of turn number 4. The lights should be off this time around. We should be going back green on lap number 8. And they begin to bunch up. See that 64 car there of Hallinar. Had a little bit of connection issues early on in the first few laps of green flag racing here. See if everything gets settled down, and we're going to have a nice little battle with these tour mods up front. Pace car set to go into the pits. There it goes. Peterson, Hallinar out of turn number 4 down the front stretch. Peterson with the pace.
Green flag.
Green flags back in the air. Here we go. having connection problems. Boy, he is all over that track. Here comes Peterson out of turn number 4 down the front stretch. Begins pulling away. He's got almost a 1 second lead over Crowell. As he works his way into turns 3 and 4, hugging that inside line, making his way out of turn 4 into the front stretch. Clint Crowell right there behind him as he works his way into turns 1 and 2, the 14 of Tom Hameka right there behind him. Back in 4th position, Garrett Stracata has a little bit of side-by-side action behind him. Adam Rago and Kyle Levereau. How about that? Levereau. Nice little side-by-side battle as Kyle goes to the inside. It's going to follow up right behind the 17 there of Rigo. Out of turn number 4 they come down the front stretch. Zach Mecca, the 42, guy that got into contact early on in this race, brought out the first caution of the night. Now looks to try and pass on the inside, heading into turn number 3. And he's not going to have it. He'll have to set up right there behind that Mecca, or the 42, excuse me, the 7 of Levu. I'm struggling with that name, folks. I need Thunderdog out there on YouTube to come to my aid on that one. Levereau, I believe, is the pronunciation. Back up at the front, 2.87 seconds lead is the 23. This is your pole sitter and leader currently. The New England driver with a fast lap time here tonight, 20.85. Now working his way in the low grooves of turns 3 and 4, and he's out by his lonesome. Christian Peterson in that Tour Modified, really showing what he can do early on in this race as he takes that 6-man Inc. in that Peterson irrigation car. Back through turn number 3 here on lap number 15. As you can see, a little bit of pacing behind him. Coming down the front stretch is the 48 of Clint Crowell. Working his way into turn number 1 has Tom Hameka, the number 14 car, right there behind him as he comes out of turn number 2. As you can see, he's about 6/10 behind the 48 of Crowell. And a nice little herd of cars behind him, starting in 4th position as the 17 of Adam Rigo. Now down the front stretch towards turn number 1. Has a nice little sizable gap between him and Stracata. Stracata back there in that 77 car. Looks like we do have an SK or light modified tonight. Donnie Moore there in that 26 car. As you're following him around, was up there with the Tour Modifieds, the 35 of DeMerchant right there with him. And Moore looks like he's going to push just a little high. That white and black SK Modified here tonight. SPCA, the sponsor on that car. Yep. He is back and currently in 11th position as he heads into turn number 3 here on lap 19. And the Tour Modifieds now dominate the top 10. So DeMerchant, you see there in that 35 car, working his way through turns 1 and 2 into the back straightaway behind the 87 of Robbie Bunden, the car that got spun out by Zach Mecca in the first couple laps of this race. Lap traffic ahead now for Christian Peterson here on lap number 20. Not even a quarter away through the race, and this guy is showing what he has got as he now moves ahead. I believe that was the 23 of Hallinar, who's currently 11 laps down, and he's now working his way past the 28. 28 there of Hurlburt in the SK Modified as Peterson now goes around here on lap 21, coming out of turn number 4 down the front stretch. Brandon Simmons back there, the 09 car, nice looking SK Modified as he works his way down towards turn number 3, currently right behind Scott Naslund Simmons currently running 13th position. And Brandon Simmons' car, sponsored tonight, mainly Motorsports TV, with Set Speedway and Basket Case Links Disc Golf on that car. A lot of good sponsors on that 09 car. And they begin. As you see right there is your leader now, Peterson, working his way past Simmons, trying to get back towards the top 10 and lap the rest of the field. The 33 car just ahead, Scott Naslund, you see that car. Naslund running an unsponsored car here, so he's doing all himself, paying out of pocket. Of course, he's going to drive a little conservative. Currently running in second. And one thing to note about tonight, folks, that you got to understand about these two classes. Though Donnie Moore currently back there in what we would call 11th position if it was to be scored as
Caution
is.
is out. Caution is out.
We now have the 7 of Levereau. Looks like he got loose. Go back and take a look at the replay on the 7 car. Through turns 3 and 4. Looks like it was going to be an inside battle with the 37. And he's just going to get loose. Come to a stop, and race control calls that unsafe. Give you one more perspective on it here, folks. We'll take you inside this Tour modified car. Give you an idea what it's like to be down there on the track in these cars. As he's right behind the 42 of Zach Mecca through turns 3 and 4, heading into turn number 1 is where you see him going to get loose as he's going to work that lower groove. Just dives it too hard, and there was some contact. May have been the 87 there of Robbie Bunden. Appreciate you tuning in this Wednesday night, folks, here at USA International Speedway, the broadcast coverage, Modified Madness Tour, Championship Racing Association. This is the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll have some more race action for you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to USA International Speedway this Wednesday night as we bring you down onto the track, capturing our cranking up cam by X-Time cameras. As you can see, these guys go just screaming by that start-finish line. And as we follow them coming out of turn number 2, the 23, excuse me, of Christian Peterson had a sizable lead over the rest of the field, currently putting all the light cars down just by 1 lap. Makes his way across that start-finish line. Clint Crowell right there behind him, the 48 car. Into turn number 1. Look at that side-by-side battle between Zach Mecca and the 7 car of Kyle Levereau. Levereau's going to take over 5th position as they work their way into turn number 3. And it looks like Mecca is going to try to rally back down the front stretch. Will not have it this time around here on lap number 34. Take a look up. This guy is going to be the one to beat tonight, folks, as that 23 car works his way into turn number 3. Coming down that front stretch. Peterson. Amazing fast car tonight. Let's take a look at the driver information yet again. This New England driver, fast lap time tonight, 20.85, goes screaming down that back straightaway. Into turn number 3, he has started on the pole, and ladies and gentlemen, he is not ready to give it up anytime soon. Tom Hameka back there in 3rd. This Texas driver changing up the stereotype tonight, as most of these guys are out of the Northeast. Modified's very popular up around the New York State area. And it's good to see we have got an asphalt modified driver from Texas. His fast lap time here tonight, 20.20. He started 6th on the grid, up 3 positions. Now has the 17 of Adam Rigo right there behind him. And as you can see, he's a New England driver following suit in this race tonight. DeMerchant, who is running the last in 10th position for the Tour Modifieds, or last position for the Modifieds, has moved up 3 positions, currently running 7th now as he works his way down towards turn number 3. His fast lap time here tonight, 21.57. Currently 1.5 seconds behind your race, or the car ahead of him, 5.13 seconds behind the race leader. Peterson back up front, now moving into lap traffic, as it looks like it's the number 11 car. That is Robert Lacavara. Lacavara goes to the inside, allowing that 23 car by. Got a little bit loose, may have made some contact with the apron, as now Peterson works his way into the light field. Lacavara still tagging the apron, gets down in turn number 3, and the rest of the Tour Modified, as you see the 7 car there of Levereau goes by to the high side. And now Zach Mecca is going to try to pass on the outside, as still some continued effort there from Robert Lacavara. Pennsylvania driver down there, folks, trying to hug that inside lane, got in just a little bit of contact with that apron. And he is one of these drivers running unsponsored as he works his way down towards that turn number 3. Christian Peterson now continuing to move through traffic. A little bit of 3 wide possible action coming out of the turn, and here comes the 23 towards turn number 3, passing that number 3. That is Jeff Ryan. Double lap traffic ahead. The 13 car that you see just ahead, that's Alan Wild. Alan Wild's car tonight is another unsponsored car. A lot of these guys have sponsors, but a lot of them are doing it out of their own pocketbook, as now the race leader, that Tour Modified, trying to get through this SK field. And it's becoming difficult here as he goes through just up around Benny Ellison. A little bit of double wide action. Ellison's going to push high in turns 1 and 2. Coming out of 2, he will have that 13 car of Wild to the inside. And now the rest of the Tour modifieds make their way through, as you can see. That 48 of Crowell working his way down the front stretch towards turn number 1, just to the outside. I believe that's the 03 of Kevin Hash. That white car with the red numbering on it, that is Kevin Hash. And one of the drivers there is he's running that Isom's collision car. And a lot of bunched up action. These Tour modifieds have to find their way like salmon in a river, navigating through these SK modifieds. But give it up right now for this guy right here, Donnie Moore, currently leading. And what I was talking about before he had the third caution of the night, folks, Donnie Moore currently leading the SKs. So the Tour modifieds, though they're pretty much dominating the top 10 here at USA, will be scored separately than the SK modified. So Donnie Moore currently in the winning slot, or first position slot for the SK. So if he does finish right out here, he will take home victory for that class, as we do have. And if you're just tuning in, whether it be on iRacing Live or here on YouTube, we have 2 classes of cars. The Tour modifieds are the big dogs. They push out over 600 horsepower down on these small tracks. We're at a 3/4 of a mile track. The SK modifieds around 450. Both are running V8 blocks. The SK modifieds are running a 2-barrel carb, and wow, almost some collision there between the 11 of Lacavara, and Lacavara is going to spin out down the front stretch. Though he holds it down, keeping everything safe, trying to find a way to get back on the track.
All right, man,
and race control is going to call it an actual unsafe situation. Let's go back and take a look at Lacavara coming out of turn number 4. He's been flirting with that apron tonight, and it finally got the best of him. So as we follow him down the backstretch towards turn number 3, there was a near collision with Lacavara. Lacavara's just going to, oh, he could have got a tag there. Possibly a little tag. Not sure if there was any kind of contact. Go back and take one more look at it. Give you an in-car perspective from how it happened. Maybe we'll hear some contact. This Pennsylvania driver doing it out of his own pocketbook. Here he goes into turns 3 and 4. And yes, you're going to hear some sound, and wow, that's going to send him to the infield. A little bit of contact with that wall. And green leaf sod. You need some landscaping work. There was the advertisement right on the wall. Some Cintas action there as well. So Peterson, still your race leader. Cars are going to be bunched up. We're going to move to a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll have some more action for you. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back. Out of turn number 4 they go. Welcome back to USA International Speedway this Wednesday night. If you're catching us on the iRacing Live portal or here on YouTube, appreciate you tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell, bringing you the play-by-play action here for this Modified Madness Tour in the Championship Racing Association League. Race summary out there for you. Tag 1 on to the cautions. Total of 55 laps completed. 2 lead changes now. And 3, I believe it's 3 or 4 cautions there. Had a little fumble in our software. They are bunched up, ready to go. Let's take you down. Turn up your volumes and hear these V8s roar through this 3/4 of a mile track. Pace car now into the pits. Peterson up front.
Green flag.
Green flag flies, and here we go. As we take a look at the race leader, look at Christian Peterson flying through turns 1 and 2. Has almost 7/10 and climb in second lead over Tom Hameka in the 14 car. Into turn number 3, diving it down to that yellow line as he hugs the lower groove through turns 3 and 4. Going to fan it out to the wall, coming back to that start-finish line. And definitely doing the sponsors on that car proud here tonight. Christian Peterson through turn number 2. Comes screaming down that back straightaway. Take a look at that. This driver has come to race tonight, wants to set a tone early on in this series, and he is doing it here tonight. Jumping back to 11th position, aka first position for the SK Modifieds. That is Donnie Moore. This New England driver here tonight started back in 13th. He is up 2 positions to lead the light series right there behind Garrett Strakota, the last of the Tour Modifieds, running in 10th position. Brandon Simmons, you see right here the 09 car, may have gotten into a little contact with Lacavara, bringing out that last caution coming out of turn number 4. Currently running second in the lights. As we go back up to the race lead, take a look at this. Levereau in the 7 car, now around Hameka as they work their way through turn number 2, coming into the back straight away. And now Crowell, the 48 car, right there behind. He looks like he might have had a little bit of looseness as the 7 of Levereau works his way up towards second position. Peterson out of turn number 2. All by himself here on lap number 63. Dives it down into turn number 3, and he's going to work the lower groove yet again before he fans it out to the wall, coming down the front stretch. This guy cannot be touched here tonight. He has led, as we take a look at the driver information, out of the 64, folks, 62 is what this guy has led here at the track, and he's working on 63 right now. Out of turn number 4, Peterson goes. Let's jump back. Tom Hameka back there in second position. Now has Kyle Levereau approaching from behind. Into turns 1 and 2 they go, and it looks like that 48 of Crow is going to come up on Levereau. Going to see if we can have some good battles up front as we move back through the track. Robbie Bunden, one of the guys that got in a caution, the first caution of the night, has Zach Mecca in front of him. Last time Mecca was behind him, he spun him out in the front stretch. Don LeBaire right there behind Bunden as they come out of turn number 2. Strakata, this is your guy last in the light series. Let's jump back to Benny Ellison in that 01 car as we're following him right there behind Jason Freeman as they work their way into turn number 3. A heck of a battle in these lights tonight. Tour Modifieds are pretty much in a single file line, but you're going to find some side-by-side battling with these these SK or AKA lights. Their official name is SK Modified, but they are calling them the Light Series. And that's one thing up there in the leaderboard, folks, as you were looking through. The T denotes Tour Modified. The L denotes light. So if they don't have that by their name, they joined at the last minute. So Benny Ellison, the 01 car. Had a pleasure of watching this guy in a super late model series. He did pretty good in that. Changing it up, going a little open wheel tonight. Zach Knowles, one of the race administrators there. Down there on the track racing tonight. Currently back in, we'll call it 4th position in the SKs. Started 27th. He's worked his way up to overall 15th position. Canadian driver, fast lap time here tonight, 22.27, goes barreling down towards turn number 3. Trying to fend off Jason Freeman, who's approaching from back, who's trying to hold off that 01 of Benny Ellison. Back up front for the race lead, here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, Christian Peterson into turn number 1. Just went around Alan Wild, that 13 car, as he works his way out of turn number 2. He's got some more traffic ahead, but Benny Ellison side by side with Jason Freeman into turn number 3. Christian Peterson approaching as we got some cars starting to head down pits. And oh wow, we got an incident. Take a look at that. The 03 car of Kevin Hash may have gotten loose, and it's possible we got some damage on our race leader. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. A lot of chaos. Take a look up to the left side of your screen. Benny Ellison, Jason Freeman, and Hash right there behind him on those 3 cars as the Tour Modified race leader Christian Peterson is trying to work his way through. Going to slow it down just a little bit right here. And you're going to see Hash come down, make contact with Peterson. At the same time, Ellison's going to go up and get turned by Freeman. So we got 2 bits of contact in one scene here, and Ellison is going to go for a ride. Look at that airtime out of that SK Modified, and I tell you what, he gives new meaning to the word light tonight as that 01 goes spinning through the air. He's going to come to rest, get another little bump from Hash. Kevin Hash, that 03 car. The 13 squeaks by. Alan Wild there in that green car. Let's go back and take one more look at it. We'll bring you down just a little bit closer. There it is, a little bit of bump action. You can see that Freeman got into the wall there as well, but they are going to be side by side as they go into turn number 3. This is where all the chaos begins. And take a look at that scene right there. There's Kevin Hash making contact with Peterson, but at the same time, Benny Ellison. Take a look at that. Through the air right by the flag stand. And he is going to go for a ride before coming back down. Luckily landed on all fours. A little bit of support from the Nerf bars on the side. And just a little love tap there from Kevin Hash to say, hey, I'm to your inside. And Alan Wild amazingly able to squeak by without any contact. So Peterson forced into the pits. After that contact to get a little bit of quick repair action. That's going to put the 14 of Hameka up to the race lead. And guess who's getting a wave around? Alan Wild in that position. He's going to receive a wave around as he goes around the pace car, getting a lap back. Again, folks, if you're just tuning in, it's the Modified Madness Tour here at USA International Speedway. Hameka, one of the guys tonight in the Tour Modifieds, just really hanging in there back in second position. We'll have to see what happens with Christian Peterson as the lights come off the pace car. We're going to be set to go green on lap number 78. Hurricane Race Car is the sponsor on that 14 car as he comes down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Pace car will be into the pits, exiting out of turn number 3 to that pit entrance. There it goes.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flags back in the air. Down towards turn number 1, things are just getting heated up. Look at the side-by-side battle between Mecca and the 17 of Rigo. To the high side, Rigo and Mecca's close battle. Working their way out of turn number 4, down the front stretch they come. And the 42 of Mecca, Zach Mecca, wins that battle there with Adam Rigo. Rigo's going to fall back to 5th position. As they work their way through turns 3 and 4 here on lap number 80. Seth DeMerchant has taken the race lead with 35 car now, leading the Tour Modifieds into turn number 1 on lap 81. Has Tom Hameka behind him, and look who's approaching from behind. The number 7 car is going to go to make an inside pass at turn 3, but the 14 car comes down and denies Levereau the pass. Levereau now out of turn 4, down the front stretch. Just about a quarter second behind the 14th car as he works his way into turn number 1. These guys hugging that lower groove, and as you can see, is starting to get rubbered up. Look at the black lines on the track, especially here in 3 and 4. You can see where that rubber has been put down. It was 114 degrees tonight when the race started, and we are 82 laps into this one now, 83 laps and counting into this 150 lap opening event here at USA International Speedway. Brandon Simmons, that 09 car, working his way down towards turn number 3, leading the SKs, or the light cars, out of turn number 4, right behind Clint Crowell, the last of the Tour Modifieds. Simmons tonight done really well, has that 26th of Donnie Moore, who's been leading the SKs all night, now currently in 2nd position. Simmons, one of the guys, again, mainly Motorsports TV, the main sponsor there for that 09 car. Back up to the race lead as we follow.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
And we have another caution flag. See hash down there on pit road. And some heavy damage down there on Don LeBayer, excuse me. Let's go back and take a look at the replay here on the 37 car. Passing Benny Ellison to the inside. So it was the 77 of Stracata getting around LeBayer, and he turned him. Very, very bold move to make that. A lot of smoke coming out of that 37 car. Facing traffic, he will go back and draw out. Let's go back and take a look from Stracata's point of view. I'm going to go on car there with the 77. The car just ahead, that snap-on car, the 37 of LeBayer. As you're going to see, it's coming out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway is where he's going to make the contact. And that JB Setups car is going to get turned right there. And Stracata is going to be able to squeak by. So a lot of hard racing early on in this first race of this 22-week series, folks. And LeBayer may be out of it. He is down pit road, has not come out yet. We are going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll have some more modified race action for you this Wednesday. Appreciate you tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to USA International Speedway this Wednesday night. We are back under the green in the 35 of Seth DeMerchant, leading the Tour Modifieds around turn number 2. Kyle Levereau back there behind him, a little paint scheme change as he got into the pits. Levereau changed up this paint scheme and he's changed up his driving, currently running second. Levereau Motorsports, the sponsor on that 7 car. Zach Mecca, a few of these other guys had a little bit of a paint change. As Mecca works his way into turn number 3, currently running third here in the series tonight. Jim Beam and Mountain Dew, the sponsors for Zach Mecca. They call him the Holy Man. Tom Hameka behind him. And number 14 car currently running 5th as he works his way into turn number 3. Running a lower groove than Mecca as he comes out of 4. They will work their way towards the wall, and Mecca's going to get loose. So, and some possible contact there with the 17 of Rigo. Rigo lets him know he's there. A little bit of bump, says he didn't like that close contact into turn number 1, and Rigo now has to check up to avoid contact out of turn number 4. And they continue to battle hard here on lap number 97, but it is the 35 of DeMerchant up front, currently leading as he comes down the front stretch. towards turn number 1. Let's go back and take a look at the SKs, as now here comes the 09 of Brandon Simmons. Down towards turn number 1, has Donnie Moore behind him. Zach Knowles currently running in third. Scott Naslund back there in fourth, and Jody Green are your top 5 in the SKs. On your screen now is the top 5 in the Tour mods. DeMerchant, Levro, Hameka, I wonder if it's Hamika or Hameka. Thunderdog out there on YouTube should give me a pronunciation on that. And Rigo. Again, folks, if you are tuning in, we described this earlier, but just to keep everybody up in the know, on the leaderboard, the T right before the last name, as Lacavara had to go low there while DeMerchant passed to the high side. The T beside the last name of the driver denotes that they are a Tour modified. We do have 2 classes of cars on the field, the Tours and the Lights. The Lights are the L's in front. And a guy like Leto joined at the last moment. Jeremy Leto retired early in this race. But it is DeMerchant right now, and take a look at that. We have a couple of cars down pit road. Clint Crowell, the 48 car. Christian Peterson, our pole sitter tonight, has been retired. Don LeBayer, after having that last incident that brought out that last caution, has not come out from pit road. So as we're following DeMerchant walking around the track, see if we can get a interview here with your pole sitter tonight, Christian Peterson. See if he's available for an interview. Peterson, this is Dustin Caldwell. You there?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, as we take a look through the track, tell us a little bit about what caused you to retire the 23 car tonight.
Yeah, the lights got together in front of me, and I got some damage. I was going down to fix it, and I had fuel to stabilize the setup a little bit since we weren't allowed to take tires. But I went to go fix it around the second time, and I didn't uncheck the tires, and we took tires, so I just parked it from there.
Tell you what, you had a very fast car tonight. It was most of a 3-second lead on the rest of the field. What was it like going through those lights and making your way, almost quoted you being like a salmon going through a stream as you had to swim your way through traffic? But tell us a little bit of what it was like from a driver's perspective.
Yeah, it was interesting with the different, power levels out there. It was kind of fun. You had to work around the lap traffic and, try to do it cleanly at least. Sometimes they were racing side by side, and that made it interesting, trying to make a 3-wide move. But all in all, I like the format. It was an honest mistake. I am kind of pissed at myself a little bit for not unchecking the tires the second time.
All right, well, this is the opening race. We have plenty of distance to go in this series. Next week at New Smyrna, what can we expect out of that 23 car there?
All right, man.
Yeah, hopefully we can come out of the box strong and put on a good show and not take tires and get ourselves disqualified next week.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Christian Peterson, appreciate your time. We look forward to seeing you in race number 2 next week at New Smyrna.
All right, thanks, Dustin.
While we were having the interview, Zach Knowles got into a little bit of a caution. Let's go back and take a look at the replay here and see exactly what happened. Just a tough night for Christian Peterson. Having the fast car, took tires. And if they take tires, folks, they get DQ'd. He took tires, and it looks like there is the contact from the 33 car of Scott Naslund. It's going to turn Zach Knowles up into the wall. So we go back and take a look from the in-car cam of Scott Naslund out of turn number 4. He's just going to get into the inside of the 99 of Knowles. Right here in turns 1 and 2. Just enough to tag him and got him loose. That sent Knowles right up into the wall. Take a look at that. So we take one more look at it. Give you a slowed down version. Again, the 33 car of Naslin behind Knowles as they come out of turn number 4. And you're going to see Naslin come to the inside right there as Knowles pushes up just a little bit. There's the contact. Wheels contact. And Knowles is going to climb up the track. Close to that wall, but no contact. Luckily there for the 99. So just a simple spin out. And that's going to get him loose and draw out another caution for the night. So Seth the Merchant, your race leader here with 41 to go. 109 completed, now 110 completed. 6 lead changes and 6 cautions on the night. We had to add one more due to a little hiccup in our caution detection system down on the track. Again, folks, this is the Championship Racing Association Modified Madness Tour this Wednesday night on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. Appreciate you tuning in, whether you're catching us on iRacing Live or on YouTube. If you happen to catch us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay in the know as to when we go live. You can always find us on the web at forgebroadcasting.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/digitalforgebroadcasting. Got a lot of things coming up in our lineup. Friday night, the Interleague Championship Racing Series, the KMA, Loose Lug Nuts, and TWC VM Racing Leagues. That's right, folks, 3 racing leagues battling across 5 tracks, taking 3 different vehicles, the Gen 6, the Xfinity, and the trucks. They will be battling out Friday night starting at 10 p.m. at Kansas for race number 3. You definitely want to tune in to catch that action. Pace cars lights are off. We're going to be set to go green with 38 to go. It will be DeMerchant and Levereau up front to take us back to the green. Pace car into turn number 3 will be set to go into the pits. There it goes. Through turn number 4 they come. DeMerchant, Levereau. Green flag in the air, 38 remaining tonight. So with 37 laps to go, it is go time. The 35 of DeMerchant leads that 7 car of Levereau as Hameka back there in 3rd, battling hard. Donnie Moore has taken back the lead for the SKs of the lights. Brandon Simmons back there behind him. Jody Green in 3rd. Running in 3rd for the Tour Modifieds, Tom Hameka in the 14 car works his way down into turn number 1. Right behind him, Adam Rigo is on the move. Keep your eyes on that 17 car because he looks like he wants to go somewhere in a hurry. Garrett Stracata back in 5th position has Zach Becca, the holy man himself, right behind him. Actually got turned on the front stretch a couple of cautions ago.
All right, man, caution
And we got another incident down on the front stretch, and it looks like it's Alan Wild in that 13 car. Let's go back and take a look at the replay and see exactly what might happen. Looks like he's going to get turned coming out of 4. Wild and Ellison. 33 of Naslin behind him. And he's just going to get loose. Snaps loose. Luckily, no other cars make contact. They're able to get around him. He just got loose in the front stretch. One more look for you. You see that Naslin was looking to get around him on the inside. So right here, he's coming out of turn number 4, and wow, the 26 car or the 25 car is going to get up into the wall, and there you see him snap loose. And he just goes screaming towards that infield. 25 car there. I take a look through the field. I don't know if it was the 25 or the 35 that may have hit that wall, but there's some head-on collision with the wall right from the 13 car of Wild. So that's going to bring out another caution flag back in the air. The Merchant still leading it. We're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, more race action for you to go. 31 will be what we'll be under when we get back. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Lights off the pace car heading through turn number 2. It'll be under 30 laps. 29 will remain when we go back to green, and it will be DeMerchant and Levereau up front. DeMerchant will be setting that pace. Pace car now into the pits. DeMerchant, Levereau up front, coming out of turn number 4. Here we go.
Green
Flags in the air. 29 now remain. As we take a look at the 35 of DeMerchant, look at the pack battle. Now they are under 29 laps, 28 and going. And the 77 car that you see making the move, that's Garrett Stracata to the inside of the 14 of Tom Hemeka. Hemeka now running that outside groove. Looks like he's going to try Levereau. Not going to have it. They're going to get a little bit loose. And Rigo. Hemeka getting loose again. That's the second time coming out of turn 4 this evening that he has gotten loose, sending him back to 7th position. Currently the last of the running Tour Modifieds. Brandon Simmons there leading the Light Series as he works his way down the front stretch towards turn number 1. He's got a nice sizable lead there of Jody Green. Jody Green tonight 22nd starting position on the grid, in second for the Lights. DeMerchant now out to an 8/10 and climbing towards that second mark. Lead over the 7 of Levereau. Levereau back there trying to hold off Stracata. As Stracata tried the high side, he's going to try the low side, and he's going to go around him and take second position away. So the 77 of Stracata gets around Levereau here with 25 to go, and it is getting heated up even quicker as these laps wind down. Hemeka has fallen back to 4th position as it looks like that Stracata starts to pull away. And Hemeka now looks like he's going to challenge Levereau here for 3rd position as they work their way through turns 3 and 4. Down the front stretch they come. Looking at Adam Rigo. Rigo now has a guy to his outside. That's Robbie Bunden. Bunden working his way, currently running 6th position now. And again, Bunden is one of the unsponsored cars on the track. That's why I see, call them the Iron Men. They do it out of their own bill in their own pocket. DeMerchant down towards turn number 3. It's going to be 21 to go here for the 35. Taking a look at the driver information on the bottom of your screen, this New England driver has now led 49 laps of this race with a fast lap time 21.11. And he still continues to lead. Started 3rd. But take a look at the guy behind him. This guy right here, the 77 of Garrett Strakota. The Midwest driver has a fast lap time 21.25. And he is gaining. Every lap he is gaining inches on DeMerchant.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
And we may have another car involved as we look through the field, trying to see what happened. It could be a debris call. So we see some cars just ahead. And it looks like it's the 7 car. So Levereau. Heavy damage there. Something out of turn number 4. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. Following the 7 of Levereau, Kyle Levereau. A little bit of contact. He's going to be snapped by Himeka as he comes out of turn number 4. Wow. Let's go back and take a look. Get down there a little bit closer to that action. See the contact as it unfolded. So this is right before the lap before. So as we follow Levereau through the backstretch towards turn number 3, keep an eye on that 14 car behind him. Right here is where you're going to see it. See if we can get you another angle. Take a look at that. There's the snap. And he's going to go flying up the track into the wall, just exiting turn number 4. And that's some heavy damage on that 7 car. Wow. You can see the engine start to smoke, reciprocating the damage it received from the wall. And now Levereau's down on pit road. Following DeMerchant. This is only making the job easier here for the 35 car as he continues to lead. Take a look at Levereau down in the pit road. Not sure he's going to be back out tonight. He's still sitting down there. Top 5 as it stands, folks. DeMerchant, Strakota, Rigo, Bunden, and Himeka. Got to get a pronunciation on that name. Let's see if we can get a driver interview from the 7 car of Kyle. Kyle, tell us what happened there coming out of turn number 4.
Well, I just gotta cool down here a minute.
Understandable. We can bring you back in just a moment here. We'll give you a few minutes to cool down. Bring him back in. You can tell he is not happy. He had a good night tonight, and he has just got to take a second to cool off. That way he'll be able to give an unbiased interview. And so we'll bring that 7 car Levereau back up into the booth. So the Levereau Motorsports car gets retired, currently running 13th position of the night. Out of the Tour Modifieds, I believe he'll finish 7th. As you see, the lights have come off the pace car. It's going to be Strakota and DeMerchant up front. DeMerchant in the 35 car to set the pace. It'll be 14 to go, and they are going to be on the move, folks. Here we go. Pace car into the pits. DeMerchant, Stracata up front.
Green flag.
Green flags in the air, and they are back to the race.
All right, man. Caution is out.
And
Caution
just
is
as
out.
quick as we got back to the green, they are back under caution. And it looks like it's going to be the 33 of Scott Naslund. Let's go back and take a look and see exactly what happened. Here is the restart. Naslund to the high side. You can see a little bit of chunk up action. So the 3 car is going to touch the apron. So Jeff Ryan is going to go down there, touch the apron. He's going to come up into the side of Naslund. Naslund's going to go up into the wall. And that's some heavy collision there. As you can see the bent in Nerf bar up front. And that's some heavy engine damage there on his car, Naslund. One more time, we'll take a look. Perspective of Jeff Ryan. I'll tell you what, let's go on board as they come back. So there he is into turn 1. You can see the looseness he gets, and he's going to go right up into the side. The 33. Naslund. That heavy damage. You can see the tires even bent in just a little bit. So heavy, heavy smoke out of the 33 car. Seth DeMerchant still continues to lead. Cautions breed cautions, folks. That is the old saying, and it shows true here tonight. Let's take a look at the race statistics. Out of the 139 completed, 6 lead changes, and remember, you tuned in all race long, tag 1 on. 9 total cautions here tonight, but tell you what, folks, anything is possible. Don't let that discredit you. There has been some great racing taking place here at USA this evening. Though the numbers may look a little heavy on the yellow side, don't let that fret, folks. These guys are battling it out. It's a 22-week series, and they're just going to try to race as hard as they possibly can. So you can see some wave rounds coming as they come out of turn number 2. See if we can get Levero back on the line. I think he is finally settled down a little bit, so we'll bring the 7-car driver back in. Kyle, first off, before we go and get an interview with you, tell me the pronunciation of your last name so I make sure I have it right.
Leveralt.
Leveralt or Levero?
Either one works.
Well, I want to do diligence by it. I look like a little bit of a French spelling, you know, with the Renault, the Renault. You know, so kind of where I was taking it. But tell us a little bit about what happened there in that last little bit here.
It's really hard to say. Tom did apologize, and I appreciate that. He said it wasn't on purpose, and I really don't think it was. I think he probably could have backed off a little bit after getting into my bumper, but you know, we had about 35 laps left or 30 laps left, I think, and you know, you just start racing a little harder at that point in these 150 lap races. I was trying to save my right rear and kind of get back on the gas a little bit later. I was trying to mimic Seth's driving style, and it just didn't work to my advantage with Tom on my bumper. He got back in the gas a little early, had a good run on me, and I think he came in a little hot, got on the bumper, and finally clipped my left rear, and it just put me right in the wall.
Well, it's a tough break here tonight. We got plenty to go. We'll look forward to seeing more out of the 7-car next week at New Smyrna. Appreciate your time, Kyle.
Thank you.
There you have it, folks. There's what happened there. Oh, and we got another car going to get turned.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
And it's Tom Hameka. And I can tell you right now, one guy that is not happy is Brandon Simmons. That's going to make things a little bit difficult here as we're going to wind him down. Probably be about 2 laps to go. DeMerchant still continue to lead this race. Let's take a look at the replay here from the 14-car perspective. I believe it was the 87 of Robbie Bundon making some contact. As we slow it down and bring you down closer to the track, actually we'll go to the wall cam view on this one. There it is. Hameka, Bundon, and the 42 of Mecca. It's a little bit of rhyme scheme going on with those guys down there. And Simmons, to add insult to the injury, the 09 light car gets involved. One more time. So this is going back to the green. Following Tom Hameka through the track behind Zach Mecca. Trying to see exactly what happened with Zach right there. So that's what happens. The 87 of Robbie Bundon comes down into Zach Mecca, who in turn goes up into the 14 of Tom Hameka, or Hameka. And nowhere to go, the 09 of Brandon Simmons. Though the 99 of Zach Knowles is able to get by to the low side. 01 of Benny Ellison comes down as well. And the rest of the light group swing by. Lacavara making it by. And the last but not least, the 13 car of Alan Wild. So things just got a little bit interesting, especially for Seth DeMerchant. Here in the last little bit of the race, just under 4 laps, and we are still pacing. So as they come down the front stretch, Stracata and DeMerchant are going to be the ones to battle for the win. Don't count out that 17 car of Adam Rigo. Been pretty fast here tonight as well. Jody Green leading the light series. That 16 car. Jody Green with that Unacceptable Racing Griffico Property Management light car. Looking to capture a first win of the series. Zach Knowles, the 99 car, back in second position. Zach Knowles running that Hughes Painting and Decorating. Far Out Toyota are the sponsors on the 99 car. So we are going to have a green-white checkered, folks. This is the exciting part in the race. When it goes green, the white flag will be in the air. And Seth DeMerchant and Garrett Stracata are going to battle like they've never battled before. And let's hope we have some nice, clean racing on this last lap. As we follow him into turn number 3. What is going to happen here tonight? Folks, get on the edge of your seats. The pace car is in the pits. DeMerchant to set the pace out of 4. Here we go. It's bunched up.
Green flag.
Green and white are in the air, and here we go. And some bump action there already from Adam Rigo. And look at Stracata and DeMerchant battling out of turn number 2. Who is going to take home the checkered? And the 35 takes over the lead. He is moving into turn number 3. Stracata tries to make some contact to get him tight. Not going to happen. Out of turn number 4, checkered flag in the air. And the 35 of Seth DeMerchant takes home the checkered. Jody Green able to take home the checkered in the light class as well. So 2 winners tonight Top 3, DeMerchant, Stricata, Rigo. Top 3 in the lights, Green, Simmons, and Knowles. What a race it was, folks. Summary statistics in your bottom left. 8 lead changes. And again, lead changes, folks, are just strictly up in the Tour Modified class. We plan to have a new overlay next week, so you definitely want to tune in more on this series. We're going to have some driver interviews now for you. We go down there to the 77 of Stricata. DeMerchant making his victory lap around the track. And DeMerchant comes to a stop, so we're going to see if we start with the Tour Modified class here tonight. Going to get the third position finisher here, the number 17 car of Adam Rigo out there. Adam, what a night it was for you. Battled your way through. Got involved in a couple of cautions here, but you're able to squeak by and pick up third position. When it's all said and done and that checkered flag drops, tell us what it was like racing in this two-class series starter here at USA.
It was real tough. There's a lot of good races out here.
What was your expectations coming into this race, knowing that you were going to have the light guys to go up against as well?
Yeah, I thought that was really cool having those light guys out there. It gave us a little bit more difficulty there.
Any shout-outs you'd like to give for your third place finish tonight?
Give a shout out to Nicholson Cutter Grinding, my sponsor.
All right, appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you next week at New Smyrna, Adam. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
There you have it, folks. The third place finisher tonight, Adam Rigo, there in the 17 car. We're going to move on to see if we can get an interview with Stricata. Doesn't look like he's going to be available, so we'll hold off on our Tour Modified winner tonight. We're going to move back to our... See, he's going to do a little burnout here. We go through here and see if we can get our top threes for you. Jody Green, as they are making their way out of their cars, we're trying to get some interviews for you. Not going to see it, so we'll see if we can get an interview with Zach Knowles. Bring Zach Knowles over here and get an interview with the 99 car. Running that Hughes Painting and Decorating, the Far Out, and Toyota sponsors on the car. Zach, what a race it was. Tell us what you endured through this race.
Yeah, it was all a pretty good race. I got into a little bit of contact near the end there. Put me down probably 100 horsepower, and my left front almost in my air cooler. But besides that, mint.
All right, well, you know, is there any guys out there that you're going to watch out for in this series?
Definitely Brendan Simmons and Donnie Moore. I was running with those guys when I was full horsepower, and we were running pretty close. And yeah, those guys are definitely a contender for me to look out for.
All right. Well, is there any shout-out you want to give?
Definitely shout out to Cal Barnes for running the league. He does a great job, and he deserves as much respect as we give him. Shout out to you guys for coming out and giving us a nice broadcast that we can watch and for our viewers to watch. And, you know, to my sponsors, for Hughes Painting and Decorating and Toyota.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week at race number 2 at New Smyrna.
Thank you very much.
Zach Knowles, the 99 car, coming in third overall in the light series. And it looks like we are ready now. No other light guys available on the track, so we are going to go to your race winner tonight in the Tour Modified number 35 car. Seth DeMerchant with your, I believe it was PS Designs, the sponsor on your car?
Yeah, P Money Designs.
P Money Designs, okay. I seen the S. I didn't know if it was a $ P dollar or so P Money Designs, the sponsor on your 35 Tour Modified. What a race it was for you. As we look through and take a look, I believe it was a total of 69 laps led for you tonight. Tell us what you endured here in this series opener at USA.
Just really took it easy for the beginning, probably half of the race, just saving the tires. With the setup we had tonight, it was really loose on throttle. So I was just waiting until the car was fully straight to get on the gas, and saved enough right rear for there at the end if anyone challenged me like Garrett did, that I could hold him off.
And with about 35 to go, you had the lead. And with those plagued cautions continuing to come out, what was going through your mind as far as trying to have the win on lockdown?
I was just worried about the restarts. The topped there for Garrett, I think it was on the second to last restart, seemed pretty good because he stuck with me. So I was just hoping that we could actually stay green so I could try to get away again.
All right, well, you're able to hold it together, picking up a victory. What can we expect out of that 35 car going into New Smyrna next week?
Not my best track, but I'm going to try to hopefully get a top 3, top 5 for some points.
All right, well, you'll be carrying a lot of momentum out of this series opener tonight, so congratulations again. Any final shout-outs you'd like to give for the audience?
Just to Kyle for putting on the league and P-Money Designs.
All right, well, thank you very much, Seth. Congratulations again, and we'll see you rallying it out at New Smyrna next week.
All right, thank you.
So we're going to bring in the guy we talked to at the first part of the race, so we're going to bring in and get Mr. Admin's thoughts on this. Kyle Barnes back in the booth with us here now. Kyle, what a race it was here tonight. One could say and make the argument it was a little heavy on the caution side, but I think with the amount of drivers we had getting to know the racecraft of one another, it was a great show. These guys really battling hard with these two different classes, the lights and the tours. Tell us what you thought of this opener here at USA.
Yeah, I think it was a really good show here tonight. All the drivers really put on some great racing throughout the race. I hate we had those heavy cautions there towards the latter half of the event, but some of them shouldn't have even happened. iRacing, sometimes when somebody spins out, really don't need a caution, but it's going to throw it anyways, just keep everybody out there safe and with the cars intact. So I don't blame them for throwing them on sometimes, but I just probably wouldn't. So I think that was some of the reason you guys may have saw more cautions than what we're used to. But it's all right. I had a really good event. Hate it for Peterson, who accidentally took tires there, but rules are rules, and we had to park him. But really excited and looking forward to the rest of the season.
Well, for the viewers out there in the iRacing Live portal and on YouTube, what can they expect from the Modified Madness Tour next week at New Smyrna?
It's going to be really interesting. 2 grooves there at New Smyrna. You're going to have a lot of guys wanting to run high, a lot of guys wanting to run low. So I think you're going to see even more 3-wide racing as we go to New Smyrna Speedway down there in Florida as well before we head back up north.
All right. Well, Kyle, what a race it was here tonight. Appreciate your time. We'll look forward to seeing you next week at race number 2.
All right. We'll see you then.
All right, folks. Wow. What a race tonight. It really got good towards the end. We had a green-white checkered. That's some ways to be happy to see. Let's take a look at the final results on the screen for you. Sent the Merchant taking the victory in the tours. Garrett Stracata, Adam Rigo, rounding out top 3. Robbie Bunden, last in the tours, finished 4th. Jody Green, Zach Knowles, Jeff Ryan, your top 3 in the lights. Robert Lacavara, Brandon Simmons, Tom Hemeka, finishing around 10th. But again, it's a double-class system. Rest of the results on your screen as we see Zach Mecca, Clint Kroll, Scott Naslin, Benny Ellison, Kyle Leveralt, we'll say Leveralt there, Alan Wild, Donnie Moore, Christian Peterson, heartbreak tonight, had the fastest car on the track, took tires down the pits, got DQ'd, so we'll have to see what happens next week out of the 23 car. Don LeBayer, Nathan Hurlbert, Kevin Hash, Jason Freeman, Philip Temples rounding out your grid tonight. Total of 23 cars. Hallinar, actually you could count Hallinar in there. He had some connection issues. But Tim Bills, Kyle Barnes, Tom Wetmore, and Jeremy Leto out there in the crowd. Coming up Friday night, the Interleague Championship Race Series will be back in action. You want to tune in to catch that? 3 leagues, 5 tracks, 3 cars, 15 total races. It's going to be some great racing action. But for everybody out there in the iRacing Live and the YouTube channel tonight, thanks for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network and catching this Modified Madness Tour with the Championship Racing Association. I'm Dustin Caldwell saying thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week at New Smyrna.